welcome to Disney Meg's Coloring. If you're new here, my name is Megan, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. So today is a new video for me. I'm going to actually color with you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm taking one of my Hachette Hero Disney books, because they seem to all have the same type of paper. It's very, very smooth. And I'm going to take all of my different colored pencils, and I'm going to try each one in here and determine which pencils I like best on this paper. So, I decided to go with this one, and we would just color a bunch of arrows. And here is what I have for you here. I'm going to fold this so you don't see all my chicken scratch down there. So I have 12 different sets. I don't know if you've seen my video. I do have a video that I posted on all the different sets of pencils that I have and pictures that I've colored with those pencils. So here are all my different sets. I went with this color palette, going with Donald. I did a blue, a red. This one is orange. This is an orangey yellow, and then a yellow. So I'm just going to go and color the arrows in each different kind. I'm going to start with the mark art. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm starting with the mark art pencils, and these are the ones I have. I have, they don't have names on them, just numbers. So I have, for the darkest color, I have number 30, and then I have number 3, and then I have number 29. So these are the first three I'm going to start with. So these are the mark arts, and we're going to start with an arrow. I gotta kind of, for me, I need to have it a little bit off to the side. So I'm going to start with, and I'm going to do the shadows. I'm going to start with this arrow right here, and I'm going to start with the shadowing on this side of the arrow. So, how's everybody today? I'm doing good. Yesterday was my birthday. I went to lunch with my dad and some friends of ours. And then last night, I went to dinner with me and my husband and my dad and my brother and sister-in-law. And we went to a Brazilian steakhouse. I am a huge meat lover. So we decided, oh, let's go there. And then I was a little bit disappointed. Just a little bit. We've been there before, and before they had like tons and tons and tons of meat, like steak choices, and they kept bringing more and more meats. Well, last night, it seemed more to be on the chicken side. And for the price we paid, I was hoping for more along the steak side of it. So far, I'm really liking these on this paper, so far. So far, these are good. Yeah. So what I tried to match all the colors as best as I could. I'm going to use my cute brush here. Get all the brushes. I'm going to do one more layer. I'm not going to do a lot of layers. Do this shadow, the darker one, a little bit darker. Because the paper is so smooth, I don't feel like you have to lay down a lot of layers. It really covers all the paper pretty good, all the white of the paper. Pretty good. So that was number 50. Now I'm using number 3. These leave a lot of crumbs. I don't know if that's what you call them. A lot of I guess it's wax bits. I call them crumbs. Sorry if I'm making the camera shake. My highlighted area here. So that was the Mark Art pencils. So I think those so far, I really liked the way those went. So I'm going to put on my paper here, if I liked them, I'm going to put a happy face next to those. The next ones we're going to try is Starjoy. And I just have the original Starjoy set. They're not the Starjoy Golds. I chose orange, cadmium orange deep, and marigold. So the orange is number 8, cadmium orange deep is number 11, and marigold is number 12. And so we're going to do the arrow right next to it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my weekend. Not this last weekend, but the weekend before. My last video, I don't know if you watched it all the way through, I told you that I had the opportunity of going to Tennessee. If you're a Christian music fan, there's a radio station out there called K-Love, and it's nationwide. And they have like the Dove Awards or the Grammys, like that. They have their own award ceremony, and I had the opportunity to get to go to this. So we left on Friday day, and we didn't get there till pretty late on Friday night, which next year if we go again, we were going to make sure to leave Thursday because we missed out on all the activities that they had on Friday, which come included in your packet. So we got to stay in the Gaylord, which is the Opryland Resort. Is absolutely beautiful. If you ever get the opportunity to go, you really should. It is so nice. It's so pretty. So included in our package, we got to go to some concerts, and included 2 free breakfasts and 1 free dinner. And then the awards at the Grand Ole Opry, which was which was Sunday night. Anyway, so the first night we got there really late, so we didn't do anything. On Sunday we got up, we had our first free breakfast, which was a little bit disappointing because come to find out it was a buffet breakfast, and they said between 8 and 10. Well, because we didn't get in until almost 1 o'clock by the time we got to the hotel in the morning, we wanted to sleep, and so we decided, okay, we'll go at 9:30. Well, we got there. First of all, they had no plates left and no food. So we all waited, and there was a lot of people. We weren't the only ones that waited that late. And so they brought out some more food, which looked like almost like leftovers from earlier that morning. It was stone cold, so we were like so disappointed. So we learned our lesson to know for on Sunday to make sure we get up earlier and go. Anyway, then after breakfast, we kind of explored a little bit on at the resort, which was fun, and then we went to it was supposed to be like a worship service, is what it said it was. We missed the singing, which is okay. It's not okay because I was bummed. Sorry, I was kind of bummed. But the speaker was talking, and her name was, I believe, Lisa Harper. She is hilarious. I loved it. She was great. She has a podcast. I'm going to have to start listening to it. I told my dad, I said, okay, if she could rewrite the Bible in her terms, I would still read the Bible all the time. Because I know we're supposed to read our Bible every day, but I tend to have a hard time with that. I struggle. I'm human. And anyway, then that afternoon, we went to, it was called a songwriters, something about songwriters. Anyway, they were all brand new songwriters. And let me see if I can think of some names. But first I'm going to tell you how I like these pencils. I liked them. They weren't as good. I liked the Mark Arts better than the Star Joys on this paper, but they weren't too bad. So I'm going to put on my little cheat sheet, not as big of a smile. So I'm going to just kind of like this. So it means I kind of like it. So those were the Star Joys. Again, I used orange, which is number 8, cadmium orange deep number 11, and marigold number 12. And the next set, I'm going to do blue. I'm going to do my Crayolas. And for Crayolas, I have for you, let's see. I chose True Blue. I have them in the wrong order. True Blue, Light Blue, and Cornflower. And that's what they're going to look like right there. So let's give these a try on my next arrow right here. So the songwriters, so back to my weekend. The songwriters, it was, I know one guy was John Riddick, and he was amazing. Katie Nicole, she's now one of my new favorites. I really liked her, and she actually won an award on Sunday night. She was great, very strong, great. And then there were 2 other guys, and I am so sorry I cannot remember their names. And it was, and Brandon Heath was the host for that concert. So they just like sat in a semicircle with their instruments that they use. Like one guy, who was amazing, he played the keyboard, and then Katie Nicole had her own keyboardist. He would trade places and play the keyboard for her songs. There was Brendan Heath, he did the guitar. John Riddick did the keyboard also, and then the guy on the end, he did the guitar. But they were so good. And of course, you know, going through what I'm going through right now, I know I mentioned it in my intro video about my mom. I'm still way struggling, but I did a lot of crying. So some of those songs really spoke to me. And she would have loved to have been there. Loved it. This would have been probably one of her most favorite vacations ever if she could have been there, which is one of the reasons why we went in honor of her, because we knew she would love to be there. So that was Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday night, I don't know if you've all heard of Stephen Curtis Chapman. It was his big, and it was another song writing something or other, but it was bigger artists. So it was Stephen Curtis Chapman. It was Matt Maher. It was Corey Ashbury, Tasha Layton, and I don't know why I cannot remember. The guy, the lead singer from Third Day, who was amazing. He was great. He was very funny. His songs, but Tasha Layton, I believe, she's now one of my new favorites. She had a great story to tell. I don't know if you could look her up on YouTube, if she has something on there where she tells her story of one of her songs. Oh, I just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. It was great. So that was like probably, that one was out of the whole weekend. Of course, the awards was my favorite part, but that was my next favorite. So then on Sunday, we went it was a worship service, which was church. And we got to hear Phil Wickham. And he had 2 others on the stage with him. And they were great. It was so good. I don't know if you've heard Phil Wickham. He has so much energy. He was jumping all over the place. And then for the preaching, or he got up, it was, I don't know if you've heard of him, Tim Tebow, famous sports guy. He was good. It was good. He's kind of a yeller, but that's okay. A lot of preachers are. But yeah, it was good. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not like the Crayolas on this paper. Just so you know. I don't like how they're, no. Not my favorite at all. Of course, compared to all these other pencils, Crayolas aren't really my favorite anyway. I mean, they're great pencils, but anyway, I don't know. They're not as smooth compared to how these turned out, like the blending and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm not doing a lot of pressure, but I'm going to brush that off. So, for Crayola, I'm going to put a sad face. No, not on the Disney paper. So, those are the Crayolas. The next set I have is for my red. I have the Color 180s. So these were the ones, I don't know what, I think they had an elephant on the case. Don't quote me on that. But I have chosen Burgundy, which is 160, Red 6, and Peach Puff 26. And then I'm going to do this big arrow over here. Here we go. So the church service was really good. After that, we went and we met some friends that recently moved to Tennessee, and we met them at a restaurant for lunch. Another disappointing meal. That's another story. And then we went back to rest a little because we knew the night was going to be a late night and a long night. So we all went back to our rooms and we rested. And then about 4:30, we had special passes to ride a bus to the Grand Ole Opry. You could walk because it technically is on the same site, but it's a 15-minute walk. And 2 of the people I was with, they couldn't have done that. So we went on the bus. So it was like a 5-minute little drive over there. And it was my first time to ever experience the Grand Ole Opry. And it was way warm. Way warm. But when we got there, it was considered the red carpet. So they had like the barriers like you would see at any awards ceremony. And everybody stood around the barriers so they could see all the people arriving. And that was fun. It was very crowded and hot. And then for some reason, not sure why, they were running way behind. And I mean way behind. We waited outside an additional 45 minutes before they even let us in. And we were all so hot. You should have heard everybody complaining. But these aren't blending so well. Anyway, we got in and it started out. Matthew West and Taryn Wells were the hosts. They were hilarious. I don't know if you know who Matthew West is, but oh my goodness, he should be a comedian. He was so funny. Not only is he musically talented, it was great. It was great. So we got to see Taryn Wells perform, and I called it a Michael Jackson performance because that's what it reminded me of. And who else? Let's see. We saw King and Country perform, and they won almost everything. My favorite, which I absolutely bawled my eyes out because she's one of my mom's favorites, is CeCe Winan. I had a friend of mine sing one of her songs for my mom's memorial service. But it's her new duet with Lauren Daigle. I think it's called Believe for It. You can look that up. It is an amazing song. It is great. So they sang, and it was towards the end, and it was by far the best performance of the entire weekend. And then, yeah, it ended kind of late, and we had to find, that's one thing we had a hard time with, is restaurants over there did not stay open late enough. So there was only one place, which I don't know if you guys are food people, but I'm going to tell you what I had because it was so good. It was a chicken bacon chipotle ranch quesadilla. Oh, it was so good. So good. I really enjoyed it. So I don't remember what the place called. It was a bar, a sports bar, because that's all that was open. But yeah, that was my weekend, and I'm hoping to go back next year. We had so much fun. But I have more to tell you about my trip, because not only did we do that, my uncle, my mom's brother, lives in Tennessee. So half of my dad and I stayed to visit with my uncle, and the rest of the people we were with, they went back home. But I'm going to grab my next pencils, and then I'll tell you about the rest of my trip. So those were the regular color pencils. Again, I used Burgundy 160, Red 6, and Peach Puff 26. And I'm going to put a sad face because I did not like the way they felt on the paper. So far, this one and this one so far are, I would have to say, my favorites so far. The next one I have to try are the Brute Fruiners, the 520 set. And we're going to do this one here. And these are yellow. Let's see. This is my yellow I chose. Got to get them in the right order here. Banana. And it's numbered, which the number is here. It's imprinted on here, but you can't, it's not with any ink. So it's 25. And then Blazing Yellow is 21. And Limelight is, let me see if I can read it. I think it's 10. I believe it's a 10. I wish they would have put better numbers on them than these little ones. I guess they have, like this one, they have Y12, Y50, and Y7. So I don't know what the difference is on the numbers. I think these numbers are how they're in the order, and these are their color numbers. I'm not really sure. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to move the book a little bit so that we can color the next arrow right here. And I will, if you're okay with it, finish telling you about my trip. So now we're to Monday. And Monday morning, we got up and packed our stuff back up, and my uncle picked us up. And we went to a place that day called the Assembly Food Hall or something like that, which I lived in Texas for a little while, and we lived in the Dallas area, and there was a place very similar. It was called Legacy Hall. And what it is, it's like the one in Texas was 3 stories. This one, I believe, it might have been 3 stories. It was like one building, and then you crossed like a bridge, and then there was another room, and then you went upstairs. So it was kind of similar. And it's basically like an indoor food truck kind of place. So they have tons and tons of choices, all different kinds of foods, from anywhere from hamburgers to chicken to Chinese to Indian to, I mean, any kind of food you can think of. Yeah, any kind, Spanish food, tacos, and there's desserts. Yeah, so that was fun. We went with my uncle and his wife there. I went to, it was one of the Nashville hot chicken places, and I wasn't that hungry. So I saw someone walking around with French fries, and it kind of looked like a nacho, but with French fries. And that's what I could find. It wasn't what I saw, but these were called barbecue chicken fries. So what it was French fries, and then on top was shredded chicken in barbecue sauce. And then on top of that, they drizzled a sriracha mayonnaise, like a sauce, like a sriracha ranch kind of a sauce. Well, at first, when I was ordering it, I was a little nervous because I'm a chicken when it comes to spicy foods. So I asked, how hot it was, and the guy said, "Oh, it's not really that hot. It's not hot at all. He said you won't even hardly notice it." So I trusted him, and he was right. It was not spicy at all. But wow, were they good. So, so good. So that was probably the best food I'd had the whole trip so far. And after that, then we went back to his house, and he barbecued for us. That was fun. The next morning, we got up, and he picked us up, and he took us to this place. It's known in Nashville. It's called the Loveless Cafe. They're really known for their breakfast. It was very, very good. I'm going to pause here for a minute. I got, we're going to talk about the pencils, not my trip. So far, these are okay. They were nothing like the Crayola and the Color 180s. They were better, but not as good as the Mark Arts. I would put them in the same category as the Star Joys. So we're going to put the half smiley face, the kind of smile like that. Not the really happy face. I don't know if you can see my way of... I hope you're enjoying this video. I just have a couple more to do. I know this was more for me to see what pencils I liked on this paper, because I'm a pencil person. I just thought you guys would like to follow along. So next I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do... I don't think I want to do this one and then this one, because I was going to go in a certain order, which I am. So I think I'm going to do the blue again. So for blue, I have my Castle Arts. This is my next set of blues. So for Castle Arts, these are just the regular ones, the original ones. I did this the easy way. Let's see. I have Cobalt Blue Deep, which is 95. I have Cobalt Blue 96 and Cobalt Blue Light 94. That was an easy way. I didn't have to choose my colors, so yeah. There's not much difference in the three. I had a hard time. They don't have very good light blues in this set. So I wanted a lighter blue than what I had, but I could not find one that I liked. Anyway, here we go. So back to the Loveless Cafe. I had, they are known for their pancakes, so I had to try the pancakes. So I got this. It had pancakes, eggs, and sausage, and bacon. So I could try a little bit. Oh, and a hash brown casserole. I had to try a little bit of everything. Mind you, I did not eat it all, but I had to try a little bit of everything. And then, wow, it was way good. My favorite was, of course, the hash brown casserole. I could have had a whole plate of that, but their pancakes were very fluffy. They were really good. Everything was good. The sausage was a little spicy, but yeah. So this place, it's really, really cute. If you have the chance to go to Nashville, you should try it out. They have a bunch of little boutique stores on the campus too, and I got my husband and I a t-shirt, and had to bring him back some souvenirs because he didn't come. So I got us matching t-shirts. They're really cute. So yeah, and then after that, we went, sorry, trying to remember everything we did. We went on a drive. He took us, it's called the Natchez Trail. Absolutely beautiful. They have all kinds of walking trails and waterfalls to see. We just did the driving because my dad can't hike right now. So we did stop and take some pictures, and oh wow, it's just so beautiful. I'm in California right now, and it's pretty dry and ugly. And over there it's so green, and the sky it's clear. We'd have no polluted air over there. It's just absolutely beautiful. And anyway, so that we did most of the day. And then we went back to his house and we rested until his wife was off work. And then they took us to their favorite Mexican food restaurant in Tennessee. Now, where I live in California, we have by far the best Mexican food. It is so good. So it's really hard to find anything like our Mexican food. So this, for them, was their favorite. It was okay. It was good. I liked mine. My dad didn't like his. But I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't California by all means, but it was good. I'm going to pause again on my story. So I liked these. Castle Arts are a yay. They're a big happy face, like the Mark Arts. So I'm going to put a big happy face right there. I'm going to do red next. Let me tell you the colors again that I used in case you need to know again. I used Cobalt Blue Deep, Cobalt Blue, and Cobalt Blue Light. And these are the original Castle Arts. So my next set is the Arteza Experts, the 120 set. And I chose Cherry Red, Carmine Red, and Pink Macaroon, which is their lightest pink. So let's see how these do. I'm going to turn my book so we can get to this arrow right here. And I'm starting with the darkest color, the Cherry Red. So next day, moving along, we decided to go to, he took us to Broadway Street, which is the big party street where all the honky-tonk restaurants are. Well, I had heard that the Kid Rock honky-tonk one had good food and it was fun. And my dad really likes that kind of music, and I do too. So we had him take us there. Oh wait, no, I take that back. That's not what we did first. First, he took us to, it's called the Goo Goo Clusters. Well, they had a Goo Goo's place where you can make your own. I'd never heard of it, had no clue what we were doing. So I made one. It's about this big, and it looks like a Reese's peanut butter cup. So you get just the base, which is chocolate, and then you pick what you want in the middle. I put in mine peanut butter, salted caramel, peanuts, and toffee bites. And so they put all that inside, and then they run it under, it looks like a chocolate fountain, and it just covers it in chocolate. And then they put it in their blaster for 3 minutes. And once they're, then you can eat it. Well, I didn't eat it right away because we were going to the Kid Rock for lunch. So I didn't try it yet. But then we went to Broadway Street, and the Kid Rock place, which is right a couple stores down from the Goo Goo place. And when we got in, it was a band. There was a band. There's always live music. There was a band playing. It was a female singer, and she was way good. Way good. She sang, I'm trying to think of all the songs that we liked. She sang Black Velvet. And she did the Journey song, the Just a Small Town Girl Living in a Lonely World. That song. And that was good. She did the Put a Dime in the Jukebox Baby, that song, I Love Rock and Roll. That was great. And the food was amazing. It was very, very loud. Very loud. My ears were a little bit sore afterwards, but it was so worth it. It was fun. And they have all kinds of those honky-tonk places down there by different artists. But I like country music, but not everybody does. Like my dad likes, especially Journey's one of his favorites, that kind of music. So I thought he'd enjoyed it, and he did. We way enjoyed it. And then we walked up and down Broadway Street and checked it out, went in some stores. I got another t-shirt, and I collect playing cards wherever I go. So I got a set of Nashville playing cards that I liked. And I got an ornament, my Christmas ornament. And then we went to the Johnny Cash Museum. We didn't go in the museum because it was kind of pricey. And my uncle said it wasn't worth it. It's really small. But I did get my husband a t-shirt there. And that was fun. And we, to look at all of his stuff. And so let's see, what else did we do while we were there? Another day we went to the Pancake Pantry. That was way fun. And it was really good. They have this, they put it on the table for every table. And it's called cinnamon cream. Oh my goodness. I have never had anything so good, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Oh, wow. I don't know if you have had cinnamon cream before at a breakfast place. Comment down below. It is amazing. Okay, back to the pencils. Sorry. So I'm going to give these I didn't like them as much as the Castle Arts on the paper. They were better than these two up here, but they were not good. So I'm going to give them the half smile. And see what we have next. Next, we're going to go back to this color. So we're going to do my Derwent Color Softs. I had a hard time finding colors with this one. It took me a minute. So here I have my Derwent Color Softs. And I have, let's see, oh, it goes this way. So my darkest color, I picked Pale Orange, which is 60. And then Deep Cadmium is 40, and Cream for 10. And this is supposed to look like these colors. I tried to pick something similar. So I'm going to start with my darkest color, Pale Orange. This is a big arrow. let's see, what else did we do in Tennessee? We drove by. They have a Parthenon replica. We drove by that. That's pretty cool. He drove us down Music Row is what he called it. So all those different studios and people's offices, and because he used to be in the music business where he used to work, and he drove us by Alan Jackson's old mansion. He doesn't live there anymore, but wow. Talk about huge. He showed us all like the historical buildings and what they used to be. He took us to it's called Mercantile Automobiles, where they used to make cars, the cars with the cranks in the front, way back when. And in the building, it's a bunch of stores, kind of like a little mini mall. But in the hallways is the museum, so it has all of the like tools they used and machinery that they used. And then across the street, they have a couple of the actual vehicles that you can go check out. So that was pretty cool. And they had some fun stores in there. I got some fun stuff in there. More like local places, like local businesses, local people's stuff. So good to support the locals. We went to, he drove us through, it was called Germantown, which he was kind of bummed. It's kind of gone. They're doing a lot of reconstruction over there. So he couldn't even there was so much construction, he couldn't even take us to the part he really wanted to show us. Let's see, what else did we see? I got pictures of the Ryman, the outside. We didn't go in. Saw a lot of bachelorette parties going on. As he would say, it's the bachelorette capital of the world. Crazy, crazy. We had dinner one night at a place called Southern Steak and Oyster. That was fun. That was good. These weren't too bad. I would rate them the same as the Arteza Experts. So I'm going to give them the partial smiley face there. Now we're going to try Black Widows. Let's see. Black Widows. Here we go. So we're turning Donald upside down. Sorry, Donald. So for Black Widows, I have pumpkin, burnt orange, and serpent. Those are the colors I use. The pumpkin is the Black Widow BW14. The burnt orange is SC99, so that's the Scorpion set. The first one's the Black Widow, it's the actual spider set. And then the third one is from the Dragon set, and it's DG130. So we are going to start with the pumpkin. So that was my exciting trip, and then it was time to go home. Well, I had been getting some warnings that there could possibly be some weather issues because we flew into DFW before then. So that was we had our layover in DFW and then to California. And I kept getting some weather alerts that, there might be possible weather. So to be prepared. Well, we had no delays. Never was saying delayed. We went to the airport. We got there and then sat down. We're ready to go. And they said it was I got the delay. It was delayed because they were having a storm in Dallas. And they weren't letting any planes land. Well, I guess the storm was lifting, so they finally boarded us on the plane, and it wasn't that late, maybe about 30 minutes delayed. We get on the plane, and then the pilot gets on and says that our landing time was a certain time because they only had one runway open, so we were going to have to just sit on the plane and wait. So we waited about an hour. And then he got back on and he said, okay, they have opened up all of the landing strips in Dallas, so we should be, moving. So he told the stewardess to get ready for takeoff, all that. So we got ready. The plane goes over to the, is it the tarmac? Is that what it's called? I'm not a pilot. I don't know what all the terminology is. With the strip where you take off and go up in the air. And we got to it and we stopped. And the pilot came back on and said he had some bad news. That now we had to wait right there. Could possibly be another hour. Because our time was a certain time, and we had to wait our turn, and with the air traffic and all of that. And so by now my dad and I are starting to freak out because we're worried we're going to miss our connecting flight. And at this time, like I said, he can't walk very far or very fast, and so we would not be able to run or anything like that. I'm gonna do one more layer. Pumpkin. And I don't think this is doing anything. I think we're maxed out on the layers on this paper. Yeah, I don't see any more color actually coming on here. I don't know if you guys do. But I'm so sorry. So that's the Black Widows, which I already knew they're not my favorite. So I'm giving them the half smile because they're not horrible. Let's see, what's the next set? We're going to do blue again. And then blue, I have my favorites of all are the Prismas. So we've got, my darkest color is ultramarine. And then China blue, ultramarine is PC 902. China blue, PC 1100. And then I'm not sure the color because it's gone. I think it's blue slate, but don't quote me on that. It's 1024. And yeah, we're going to do this arrow right here. We'll start with the ultramarine. So we finally take off on our plane and we get there, and we have about 30 minutes to get to where we need to go and to our gate. And luckily there was one of those, they have not wheelchairs at DFW, but they have these handicap carts where these guys drive them, and they sits about 6 people. So we were able to get on one of those, and we weren't the only ones on there, so they had to drop other people off first. Well, as we're driving along, I get the warning on my phone, and our next flight is now delayed. So we originally were supposed to leave DFW around 10:30, and then it was delayed till 11:30. And that had happened earlier, but this time they said now it's delayed till 12:30. So now we had another hour again, well, a little bit over an hour. And so we get to our gate, and we're sitting there, and then everybody's phones start going off, and now we're delayed until 1:30.
and everybody's complaining and all. And mind you, nothing is open. There are no restaurants open. The only thing there was some vending machines. So absolutely nothing. Then we get another delay, another alert, and now we are delayed until 3:30 in the morning. Now, you would think that they would have come around with waters. They did come around with some cookies and pretzels, but not until way later. Something, because, you know, we'd been on the plane since 7 o'clock. We've been on an airplane. And so, for example, my dad is diabetic. And there was a girl sitting next to us who, my dad's type 2. Well, this other girl is type 1. And you could tell she was really struggling. And there's nowhere to get them some actual food. Vending machines, it's like chips and candy. That's not going to work. They needed some food. Anyway, so, you know, nobody's happy. Well, then the guy comes to the microphone and he informs us that now the pilot has worked too many hours, and so unless they can find another pilot, they're canceling our flight. Well, you can imagine the reaction everybody got. And so they were going to see if they could find a pilot. And he was like, but they're most likely going to cancel it, because where are they going to find a pilot at 1 o'clock in the morning? Which, yeah, where are they going to find one? Poor guy, it wasn't his fault. Everybody's going at him. So everybody starts lining up to, you know, book another flight. And he's telling everyone that all the flights are full for the next day, Saturday and Sunday. Pause on the story. As, of course, Prisma is so far the best, but they seem to be the best on every paper. So they're definitely getting a big smiley face. And the next pencils I'm going to try are the Color Experts, the 240 set. And I picked the same exact colors I use in the 180 set because they have the same color name. So I picked Burgundy, which is 15, Red is 8, and Peach Puff is 21. So we shall see if they feel the same. I did not like the 180 set. So now we shall see if we like the 240 set, the Experts. Let's see the difference here. And here we go. So back to my flight story. So everybody's trying to, you know, they're in line and he's telling everybody they're all full, but he could put them on the standby lists. Well, there's about 90 of us waiting on this plane, right? So if he put all 90 of us on this standby list, there's no way we're all going to get a flight. And basically he was telling us if they canceled it, we probably wouldn't have been able to get out of there until Monday. 2 extra days. Well, I mean, we were fine with it, but there were people with kids and people who had to go back to work and all these, you know, my dad's retired and I'm currently not working, so it wouldn't have been a big deal for us, but they could have told us this so that we could have, you know, I knew people there that we could have stayed with. And anyway, so he's like, he's putting all these people on this standby list, but told them that they're just temporary because he's not taking them off this flights because it's not officially canceled yet. And he can't do anything unless the flight is officially canceled. So we're just all sitting there because, you know, we can't go anywhere because we don't know anything and finally our phones start going off again, and now it's saying it's delayed until 6 a.m. And so the guy's like, oh, I don't think that's right, so don't go on that. And he calls, and the person on the phone said, nope, That is not, that was just, you know, I don't know, the automatic, whatever. That is definitely not their time. They probably won't leave till between 11 and 12 on Saturday. 11 and noon. And everybody was so upset. People were so mad, and we were all so tired, and, you know, we're not going to sleep because we don't know anything, and you don't want to miss anything. And then our phones all go off again, and now it says 9:30, that we're going to be flying out at 9:30. And the guy gets a phone call, and they tell him, yes, this is their definite time. They're going to be leaving at 9:30. So he announces it, and he tells everybody to, you know, not to leave, because just in case things change. So, and then he takes off for the night. And it's about 2 o'clock in the morning by this time. So he takes off, and I'm not even kidding you, he's not even gone 5 minutes. And all our phones go off again, and now it's telling us that we're leaving at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my goodness. The people were so mad. And then 5 minutes after that, it goes off again, and it's saying noon. And then probably for the next hour, it's going back and forth between noon and 1 the whole time. So we couldn't leave the airport to go get a hotel and get a good night's sleep. So everybody is sprawled all over the place trying to sleep. And I tried laying on the floor, and mind you, the floor is so hard. And I don't know what people did on the floor, but it smelled bad. So I couldn't do it. So there was no way my dad was getting on the floor and laying down. So he's sitting straight up in the chair. And so, long story short, we did not get much sleep. And finally, we got a time for 1 o'clock. So we were leaving at 1 in the afternoon. And so we had been at this airport since about 10:30. And we didn't leave till the next day at 1 in the afternoon. It was horrible. Anyway, these pencils, much better than the original colors, but not my favorites. They're not a sad face. I could work with them. So I'm going to put the half happy face. So they're, yeah. So we have one more set to do, and that is the Brute Furnish squares. And we're going to do this big arrow over here with the yellow. And let me grab those. I don't have names because they have names on them, but I can't read that language. And I don't have a paper with me. So I'm going to give you the numbers. I have number 3, number 2, and number 49. So I'm going to move these over here. So here we go. So finally, we got on the plane around 12:45-ish. We didn't leave the airport till probably around 1:15 or 1:20. We got to California about 2:30, 2:45. So I slept a little on the plane. So tired. Needless to say, right now, when it comes to flying, be prepared, because they have a massive shortage on pilots and flight attendants. So, you know, so be prepared. Anyway, so yeah, that was my trip. I'm home, thankful to be home, and I think I've rested. I'm still a little bit tired, but I slept a lot I almost went immediately to bed when I got home on Saturday, and then I slept a lot on Sunday, and then I got some sleep yesterday. But yeah, that was my fun, exciting trip, and that's why you haven't seen too many posts on Instagram, or that's why I was late on my video. I didn't have one Friday night. It didn't go up until Sunday night. Sorry. But this one should go up today. And I'm going to have a bonus video this week. Normally I'm doing 2 videos a week, but I think I'm going to try to have 3 for you this week since I was behind. I like these. These are working really nice. I'm really liking these. So we'll do a wrap up here in just a minute, and then I will finish this page off camera, and you will see the finished product on my Instagram. So if you are not one of my followers on Instagram, it's the same as my YouTube. It's at Disney Makes Coloring. I also have a Facebook group, which I would love for all of you to join if you're on Facebook. It's called Color With Us. So I'll also post this on there. And if you ever want to talk or anything, I'm pretty, you could always message me on Instagram or on Facebook. I also have an email that more, if you want to get a hold of me, my email is disneymakescoloring79@gmail.com. And those are all my social medias for you there. So let me turn them around so we can see them right side up. I kind of like the arrows. It's very, very primary colors. I like it. So I'm going to put a happy face next to these. That big happy face. I liked those. So here we go. What we know of from my coloring here. So pencils I like best on this very smooth Hachette Hero paper are the Mark Arts, the Castle Arts, Prismas, and Brute Furnish Squares. The ones that are okay on the paper, but they were okay, were the Derwent Color Soft, the regular Star Joys, Black Widows, the Brute Furnish 520 set, Arteza Experts, and the Color Experts 240 set. The 2 sets I have that I did not like on this paper were the Crayola and the Color 180s. Anyway, I used the Black Widows on my last picture I colored out, and that's what made me want to do it, because they weren't my favorite, and I don't feel like they turned out so great. I mean, pretty much all these pencils blended look really good. The only ones I don't care for the way they look is the Crayola one here, and I don't know if it was my color choices or but this Crayola, the Color 240s, they didn't blend very well together. Yeah, I'd say the ones that I think blended the best was the Brute Furnish 520s, of course the Prismas, and this one, the Star Joys, did a really good job. But I'm still learning, so my blending's not always perfect. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. Leave a comment below on if this helped you at all. I'm sorry I don't have some of the fancier pencil sets. I can't, afford those. And I got some money to spend, so we shall see if I get some or not. But yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you're notified when I post a new video, and thumbs up that you liked it. And I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Bye.